crystal vase. Yeah.
It ranges from 200 to 5 grand.
Yeah, exactly. And hers were pristine.
Though now girls don't want generic. They wouldn't find that kind of thing enticing. They want Venus et Fleur, which would be around $1,400. It's more like the state, because these are everlasting flowers. They don't die. These ones. It's a statement that you're willing to spend hella money on flowers that you know won't die.
Well, before I met your father,
Yeah.
I was this pole pitcher. He delivered a dozen red roses to my house, and my parents fell in love with him. But then I found he carried a gun with him, and so I felt that he was doing more than just. He was doing probably drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I broke up with him. John doesn't like this movie.
I like the last one. I'm not very fond of the first or second. The second one's a bit too gritty.
No, the first one was more sexual. This one is more of him trying to move her.
Yeah, but doesn't he like stick beads up her?
Oh yeah, but that's pleasures.
I would not find pleasures, which is why I say.
Well, she found it pleasure because when she sat down,
the first two are probably too gritty for me then.
No.
Which is fine. It's up to personal preference, right? I don't mind the last one though.
Where they got married.
Yeah. I figured out like what kind of like when I do get married, what kind. I don't want a diamond. I want the star sapphire because it makes a star no matter what way you look at it, and that just feels more special.
He was obsessed. Not the obsessed good way, the obsessed bad way. But when
you know she's enjoying listening to
what?
She sees her eyes are flicking.
She loves these type of movies.
No. She likes hearing me and you talk because her eyes will flick towards me when I talk, and then when you open your mouth, she starts listening to you. Her eyes flicker over towards the coffee table.
But when his helicopter goes missing, he got the gist that he could never compete with him. Oh, there he is. Ooh, there you are.
Hi, baby. Are you tired? She's cuddling her candy corn.
My humans are talking.
No, put the head back down.
Mama's hat up.
See?
Hi, baby.
She makes him chase her.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people don't like the fact that Carlos Sainz, the F1 driver, said that men should chase the women thereafter. They said it's misogynistic, and they hated it. I think it's a fair thing to say. Quite a few women would prefer to be chased than have to go up to a man.
Pursuit.
We like being pursued. A lot of women, even most independent ones. They want a man who's going to be a man or a woman. No difference. They want someone who's going to pursue them.
But they want to be they want to be wanted.
Yes.
They don't want to be they're easy.
Mm-mm.
And he wanted her.
I do think a lot of the people who think that, oh, it's misogynistic for women to want to be pursued, they're also the same women who lost their virginity when they were 12. Which does not say a lot about them.
No,
Especially considering a lot of those women do come, when they are adults, they very much say they regret losing their virginity so young.
I didn't lose my virginity at 12 or 16. It was more
I
like
haven't lost
I
mine
was
yet.
17 or 18. But I lost it to the first man I married.
Mm-hmm. Now her eyes are flickering back and forth like, why did you guys stop talking?
Waxers.
Oh, honey. You like hearing us chat?
You want to come lay with Mom? Ask her if she wants to.
You want to go lay with Mama?
Oh,
yeah.
This is a very good situation for me.
Mama. I'm
She
not coming
glares
up
at you.
No, she looks at me because she's expecting me to come up with her. No, honey, I'm not coming up.
Well, this drives him crazy.
Oh, it would drive me crazy too. I told Sean that he more than likely he does not have OCD. He probably just meticulous. There's a difference. OCD. I looked it up. I looked into OCD more. I definitely have OCD.
I broke him.
You probably, when ADHD started kicking in, that's when his seizure meds started interacting badly with him, so you got him off it, and you physically broke the cycle for him. OCD, though, is, you know how my hair would, when I would straighten it, it would
Your
bother
father
me?
was OCD.
No, you know how it would bother me, even though it would be
It still
perfectly
does.
straight? Well, not much anymore, really.
Oh, yeah, much.
No, since I started letting it do its own thing, no. But it was that way, it would bother me so much because of the fact that I could feel it curling up and I did not like it. So my body would start reacting saying it's wrong. And that's what OCD does. It's your body basically going like, hey, I don't like this. This is wrong. I'm gonna make you feel like something is physically wrong with you.
This is your father.
Oh, that's disorganization. OCD,
No.
Do you know what OCD is? Do you? Do you know what OCD actually is beyond the organization?
It has to be certain things a certain way.
Repetition, for one. You know how sometimes in shows you'll see people flick the lights on and off 3 times and whisper, basically mutter, if I don't do this, everyone in my family's going to die. That's OCD.
Your dad's OCD was...
He probably had a very specific brand of it.
Yeah, everything had to... his watches had to be so many centimeters.
And it was probably OCD and just organization and his environment.
Oh, and then his suits. He had to have
his environment needed to be organized.
It had to be his suit jackets, pants, shirts. Had to be organized, and that's the sense of the way.
OCD for him was physically just his environment, not much else.
And I would take when I would.
Did his OCD go anywhere but his environment? Like his car, his shirts, his office.
It was everything.
Where he operated, his environment. Did it ever leave that?
No, it did.
Where?
Yeah, it went from home to office
That's
to
his
lifestyle.
environment.
It just was so. He just was so. It drove me crazy. So what I did to him.
I do to Sean.
I moved things. I would go to his office, his stapler, I would turn it around. And he goes, you know I can't deal with this. So I go, oh, okay. That's the deal. But then he
hated when I would change things in our life around. Like, I would, we'd have Christmas pictures without him. Because you didn't ask. He could not tolerate a change. Period. No matter in his life, had to be in anything.
His OCD was very centralized. My OCD is like overall fully developed OCD. It's not one specific area.
Your OCD is pretty much.
It's not a copy of his. I can tell you that for certain because I did do the research into it.
Your OCD.
Did he have OCD about his hair?
What hair? But no, your OCD goes to your hair.
It goes to everything for me, which is a fully developed OCD. For him, it was pretty much his organization, him wanting things a certain way. That's a very specific part of OCD, but it's not entirely, it's not the entire spectrum of OCD.
But you get it from him.
Yes, I do get it from him. Mine's just a more, when you add in the fact that ADHD can, and more often than not, does cause the make things like OCD, depression, anxiety, it causes it to develop quicker than it would.
I have no OCD about me.
No, but having ADHD thrown into the mix with the fact that he had OCD, and that OCD was probably already born with me,
but I
probably caused it to develop fully.
I took it out of him. Because after he married me and we lived together, that went out the window. He had no OCD, went away. But then when we separated and he got his OCD back, and he didn't want you kids to touch anything.
I don't have a problem with people touching, like, you know, like.
Well, no, he didn't want. He had these little nun things, and you were little, and he goes, "You need to come get them. They're touching all my stuff," and he couldn't tolerate touching things.
See, when I had kids with my OCD makes me not want certain things to be touched by my kid, then I will just put those stuff in a locked room. I will just put them out away from the little grabby hands of children. It's simple. Lock them away until those kids are old enough to understand, hey, mom, the parent does not want this to be touched. Because once they reach that age where they're like, okay, I can understand that, and they can respect it, then yeah.
I never had anything else that I would not. I knocked on you about touching.
Anything you didn't want us touching, you kept high. You kept out of our reach or away from our vision, which is how it should be done.
I think I'm not patting myself on the back. I think I was a good parent.
You are.
I still am a good parent, but as you were younger, I was a good parent that...
You let my ADHD, my OCD develop on its own, and if there was something I didn't, like, you know, my environment, when it came to, like, my books and whatnot, you didn't mess with it. You let them be because you were just like, it's her stuff. It's her environment.
I still don't do anything with your...
No! You need something from under the bed, you just tell me and me or Sean will go and get it.
Well, I don't discourage you from what you want.
I know.
You know? I don't tell you you can't do something. What I did do is I didn't really discourage you, but I did not encourage you to do ice skating and stuff like that. Because I know that it was something that...
I'll probably learn to ice skate at some point. I might learn to do
But I
stuff,
knew it wouldn't be a professional thing you would actually pursue.
It's still your age.
No, you can't do that. That's my job. You can't start interfering in my career.
But I didn't discourage you that you couldn't. I didn't say you can't do it.
We also just never had the cash for it.
It wasn't that. I just didn't encourage it. But I felt if you really wanted to do it, you would do it.
Yeah, at some point I might do it just for like fun. I'll learn the recreational.
I could ice skate if my feet were better.
Like this. That's my toy.
But it wasn't something. I do encourage you to get your medical degree. I just don't think it's. And I let you. I didn't tell you you should do this.
There was a time where you I think you were just real. I don't know what you drank, but you were really drunk one night, and you told me you need to figure out a way to fix Sean.
No, I didn't.
No, you don't remember that, but you did it. You said that to me.